Every single day, droves of MultiVersus fans beg for just one thing. No, it's not character reveals, it's not a cinematic trailer. It's actually a YouTube show that both provides a place for them to not just ask for a character, but explain why they should be in the game. And of course, they want this show to copy its format from one of the most popular reality shows on television. Welcome to Toast Tank. On Toast Tank, we have just one goal: give people toast if they convince us their character should get into the game. Now, my audio for the rest of this video is going to be a little bit crunchier because Windows sent through an update which completely messed with my audio settings, and it compressed everything from my input, and I couldn't find out what the cause of it till after we recorded the first episode of Toast Tank. It has been fixed in the videos I've recorded since then, which is pretty much all of the other videos you've been watching, and it will be fixed for episode 2 of Toast Tank. Do not worry, my co-hosts, their mics sound great. They do a lot of the talking in this episode as well, but apologies, it's something that has been addressed. Now, I only bought a single pack of bread and need like half of it for my lunches, so me and my fellow judges will only have a couple pieces of toast each. That's right, I said judges. I couldn't go on this adventure alone, so I invited some of my favorite MultiVersus content creators to help out. First, we have the man that's been keeping us informed since before the open beta even dropped. Of course, I'm talking about the Shader Gamer.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Shader Gamer back with another video, and it's not on my channel. I'm just here because I'm getting paid with Gleanium.
I don't know about that one. And then next, though, we have someone who spreads his hype and excitement for not just movies or shows or games, but for all of nerd culture. That's right, it's the Nerdy Spaceman.
Hey guys, it's Nerdy Spaceman here. I react to, as he said, movies, trailers, and game trailers on my channel. I'm excited to be here.
Big MultiVersus fan?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think that's what links us. A year ago, I asked my followers to give me their very best pitch as to why their character should get into MultiVersus. Little did I know the game would shut down they would announce we're shutting down 3 months later, and those pitches, it wasn't the right time to release that show. Now that the game is right around the corner, it's dropping this month, actually. We're anxiously waiting for character reveals. There's no better time to revisit this thread. So judges, the rules are simple. We each only have 2 pieces of toast. When someone gives us a pitch and absolutely convinces you that their character is MultiVersus material, you can give up a piece of your toast to get that character into the roster. By roster, I don't mean the real one. I don't have that kind of sway. I mean the one I'm making in Photoshop this weekend. Surely that's just as good, right?
Hey,
now,
can I borrow a piece of toast?
Nerdy Spaceman, I think, has plenty to spare. He has 2. He has 2 whole pieces. I'm sure he'll share.
We all got 2.
Now, I do have one more surprise. Most of these pitches will be from Twitter. However, we have one more special guest prepared to make their pitch in person. Whether it's from Marvel Rivals, Tekken, Marvel Snap, Street Fighter, or of course MultiVersus, he has been on the grind on stream and on YouTube. Give a warm welcome to Niles.
Hey, what's up everyone? Niall here. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Nosy. I cannot wait to give this pitch for MultiVersus. Y'all know how passionate I am for MultiVersus. Been making content on MultiVersus ever since it was like a concept, a rumor. But we're here to give this cool character pitch. I have a really cool surprise for you guys in store for this one.
All right, well, hit us with this surprise. Judges, get ready to judge.
Alrighty, so this pitch here, well, first of all, hello judges. My name is Niall, as I said earlier, and today I'm seeking as many pieces of toast as possible from you guys. Of course, in equity in player first games, because I have that type of pool. Not really, but yeah.
Oh wait, really? Yeah. No takesies backsies, man. You can't walk back on that. You can't backpedal.
Give me in contact with the right people.
So, Sharks, when you think of the GOATs of Cartoon Network, there are a few that come to mind. Finn, Jake, Mordecai, Rigby, Powerpuff Girls, maybe even Samurai Jack. But none of them brought in the viewership, merchandise sales, and fame that Ben 10 has. There was a point in time where every kid in the world wanted to wear a Ben 10 Omnitrix, and it's about time we bring that same hype to MultiVersus. As basically the mascot of Cartoon Network, Ben 10 will have the most ambitious moveset we have ever seen in MultiVersus, and will be the game's very first hybrid character. This role is exclusive to Ben, because his playstyle is based off of a stance-changing format similar to that of Pokemon Trainer in Super Smash Bros. As a hybrid character, Ben will have an alien in each role. With Ben having an alien in each role, he can transform into them. By pressing the neutral special button, Ben can pull up a menu that will allow him to transform into one of the 5 aliens. Once Ben transforms into an alien, he will be able to stay as that alien for up to 35 seconds before the Omnitrix powers down, and then he will revert back to his normal form as just Ben. As normal Ben, he can do small punches and kicks that deal minimal damage. Ben has to wait up to 14 seconds before the Omnitrix will allow him to select another alien. The previous alien selected will not become available again until after the second one has been chosen. As normal Ben, this is his weakest form. I do have a list of aliens that will be selected for each of the 5 roles, and each role or each alien will represent a class in MultiVersus as the world's first or the game's first hybrid character.
So he's like all of them in one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Yeah. So
the first role. Go ahead. Yes, you have a question.
Before we get into the roles, because that's its whole thing, your idea is that I don't know what aliens you pick, so I'm just gonna go Stinkfly because that's the one that came to mind. If he turns into Stinkfly and he turns back to Ben, he can't go straight back to Stinkfly, is what you're saying?
No, he must select another alien before Stinkfly would become available again.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Force them to not one trick. Yeah. That's good.
Yes. Any other questions, judges?
Yeah, so that basically the classic Ben 10?
Yeah, well, yes, that's the design I thought of would be the classic Ben 10. I originally had the idea of going for Alien Force, since that would be an older Ben 10, would be taller, it might fit better for the game's model. But I think the classic version is the most recognizable, and so therefore that would probably be best in terms of the game's marketing.
I agree.
Yeah, somebody gets me.
Yeah. So I think the OG Ben would probably be the best.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No notes.
Okay, awesome. So I'll continue on with the pitch then. So each alien, of course, will represent a class, and here are the aliens that I've selected for each class, and I'll also give some notes for moveset ideas for each one. So since each alien represents a class, this means that Ben technically has 5 different movesets, which just seems to be a lot, but I feel as though, as like I said, the mascot of Cartoon Network, I think a character like Ben 10 deserves this recognition. So for the first role, Mage Range will be Heat Blast, a range fighter that can use fireballs, heat waves, flame lasers, and firewalls to zone opponents and stay away from them. Enemies that take enough damage from the burn will be affected with the Ignite status effect that is currently in MultiVersus. Tank, Diamond Head. Diamond Head is an extremely heavy character and can fortify himself to reflect projectiles such as lasers like he does in the show. He can use big sweeping attacks with his crystal claws or extend diamonds on his back to anti-air opponents that are above him. Forearms would be the Bruiser. He will use multi-hit attacks and can grab to deal damage to opponents and displace them. Forearms will also have a very weak aerial presence, mainly because he's mainly a grounded fighter for the most part. Accelerate will be the fastest assassin in the game, with insane ground speed and quick combos that will deal little damage. Think something that of Sheik and maybe in Super Smash Bros. Gray Matter will be the support of the Ben 10 alien roster. He can create gadgets that act as items such as a healing field that will help allies and heal them when they're in the area, a gravity manipulator that will make him and his allies heavier so they will be harder to KO, or a damage boost that will enrage a teammate's next attack. Gray Matter will have a weak physical attack game, but his power lies in his specials that will help him build different gadgets. Gadgets can be built over time by collecting pieces that fall from enemies, such as gears or cogs that can be used to build gadgets. Once gadgets are built, he can then give them as items to his teammates, or use to himself. His playstyle and overview. Oh, I have one more thing I have to say. Sorry, one more thing.
No, I'm just like, the Gray Matter is a really cool idea. I don't know if I would have picked him as an alien, but I'm glad you did. Like, he's a favorite.
At first, I was thinking of others, but I decided to go with Gray Matter. Going something a little bit different. Playstyle and overview. Ben's playstyle allows the player to pick the correct alien for the correct situation, but also locks you in the alien once it's selected. This gives the player the freedom to choose the playstyle that they want, but they have to learn how to master all the aliens in order to maximize Ben's value. Ben is basically your overall jack of all trades character. This character can do everything, but you have to pick the right thing to do to get the most value. And that is my pitch for Ben 10 for MultiVersus.
It's a really impressive pitch. But what grabbed me was Gray Matter. I really like stupid looking little guys. They're my favorite characters, and Gray Matter is just that. What do you guys think? You liked his pitch?
I gotta say, originally when I was thinking about Ben 10, because Ben 10 is actually, my number 2 character on my wish list. I was like, okay, I don't know how they'll figure out how to pull it off, but I would want 10 aliens. But just the fact, which it makes perfect sense, he said 5 aliens, but 1 representing each class in the game is genius. It makes sense. I'm like, okay, that would really got me. Just cause then even if they do add more, like, I guess like more types in the game or whatever, then they could go ahead and like add like another alien if they were to do that, but it won't be necessary if you already have 5 classes. And I like that. I like that, especially. Well, then I did have a question though that I was curious about. So he said you have 4 arms as the bruiser?
Yes, I was tossing and turning between 4 arms and Diamond Head, between one of those being a bruiser and one of them being a tank. I decided on Diamond Head being a tank because since he's literally made out of diamonds, I figured he would most likely be a heavier character than 4 arms. And I figured that 4 arms that he literally has would be great for multi-hit attacks, which I feel like would be more akin to that of a bruiser than Diamond Head was.
The bruiser symbol is a fist, and 4 arms has 4 of those.
Thinking.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, that's another thing as well.
I don't know. Personally, I feel like 4 arms would fit better as a tank, but I wouldn't get mad if they put him as a bruiser healer. But hey,
Yeah, I think either or could work. But yes, thank you for the feedback.
How are you feeling about Ben 10, Nerdy Spaceman?
So I think Niall did a really good job of pitching it. I think, like Shader said, that 5 each, having an alien represent a class in the game is so smart and so good. Unfortunately, I'm a picky person. I really want them to get all 10 aliens. I have no idea how on earth they're gonna pull that off, but I want all 10 aliens because the problem is I want everyone to have their favorite alien in the game.
I know
Someone's
how
gonna
they
be
do
sad
all
because
10.
Upgrade's not in.
I know how
Someone's
they
gonna
do
be
all
mad
10.
that certain Wild Mutt's not in. Someone's gonna be sad that Cannonball didn't get in the moveset. Someone's going to be sad.
Yeah.
And I would prefer it if somehow everyone was like, yes, my favorite alien is in the game. So my only thing, he has good 5 alien picks. It's just, it's 5 aliens, not all 10. And then in the sense of like, obviously gameplay wise, yeah, obviously doing 10 aliens is like, how? But like in terms of like lore wise, it's like, why is he limiting himself to only 5 aliens? Like it doesn't make sense in that sense. So that's what I have to say.
I do have a rebuttal to Nerdy Spaceman if you want. I'm not listening. Nosy, do you want to follow up with that?
My rebuttal was just gonna be just make Wildmutt a taunt. Just have him dig in the dirt as a taunt. Just have the other aliens as a taunt.
There was exactly an idea that I had for this, was just like putting other aliens as a taunt. One thing my counter argument to the 10 aliens is, one, I feel as though that would be extremely ambitious to do. I think making 10 different movesets for one character is like insane. I feel like that would be a lot of work for one character in the game. I do think that these 5 characters, or these 5 aliens that I've selected for Ben, represent not only the most popular aliens that Ben has, but some of them being a little bit more on the obscure side, like Gray Matter. And I feel as though for Ben 10 that I did have an idea in which instead Ben would transform into an alien for specific moves. but I didn't feel like that was faithful to the character because I wanted to implement the idea of the Omnitrix powering down. And of course, how in the show, the Omnitrix always powers down at usually the most inconvenient time possible. And I figured it would be really cool to have that be a mechanic for Ben, especially since cooldowns are literally a mechanic in MultiVersus.
Yeah.
So having the ability to have aliens be put on cooldowns and you have to wait until they come back online, I think would be a great mechanic to have that would not only be faithful to the game, MultiVersus, but would also be faithful to the character.
You know,
so I do want to add something. Oh, you got it?
no, I was just gonna say I really agree with that line of reasoning. I'm like completely sold on like that's how Ben should be. Cause you know, like Ben is already gonna take the development time of 5 characters with the way you're pitching it. And there's kind of no way around that if you're gonna do Ben 10. Like the devs know that he's gonna be a monster to work on. 10 is so much. Like, would you rather? At that point, I'm like, I think I'd just rather 10 different characters than Ben with 10 characters worth of effort put in, if that makes sense. I think 5's a sweet spot, and I really like that you stuck with 5 because it's a lot. It's still also asking a player to master 10 movesets is a lot, but asking them to master 5 is like kind of more feasible. And yeah, I don't know. Shader was about to say something, but I think I'm
Yeah,
prepared to give up a toast potentially.
yeah, yeah. I'm about to say. I put it to you like this: the thing about it, with the whole 10 alien thing, me personally as a fan, I think it'd be cool for them to do 10. 5 is more reasonable, and that's the only way that I could probably actually see him actually getting in realistically. And the
Mhm.
reason why I personally don't have a problem with it is just due to the fact that on Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, like on in that game right there, you played it, and of course the attacks was like the alien, and then you go back to Ben himself, but you only had like 3 to 4 aliens in each move set. So it's like, well, if they did it like that, then I guess it makes sense to only have 5 aliens, and that makes sense. Like mastering 5 move sets, yeah, that you gotta be a really, very skilled individual to go ahead and pull all that off. So, oh yeah, Noisy Boy, we're gonna share your toast on that one.
Yeah, I'll pay up the toast tax for that one. I'll give up one of my 2. I really liked that pitch. I think it's one of the better Ben concepts I've heard. I like the whole mechanic you have in mind of, because that's how it is in the show. He picks an alien and the timer runs out and then he's Ben and he has to hide or scramble or like ride on his skateboard until he can turn into an alien again. And another counterpoint is Ben usually doesn't turn into all 10 episodes or all 10 aliens in one episode. He usually only turns into like 3 or 4 in one episode. So 5, like, it's like an episode of Ben 10. If they ever put in adult Ben as his own guy with his own aliens, then there are 10 aliens in the game.
One thing I would like to say as a response to that, so yeah, as my whole idea was like with the 5 aliens, and each one represents the different classes, and kind of having that whole mechanic of him reverting back to normal Ben. I also wanted to make it so that way Ben had a clear weakness, which was him and his normal form, because at that point he's just a normal human, and he doesn't have any superpowers. And so my whole design philosophy behind that was that as normal Ben, right, that would be his biggest glaring weakness, is that in that normal state he doesn't deal much damage and he's not very strong and probably easy to KO. So that would be the time in which your enemies would really try to jump on you, try to deal a ton of damage and KO you quickly before you have access to the Omnitrix again, and then you can select the alien.
I like that mindset because 5 movesets is powerful to give a character, and the Ben being how you balance that, I think is very, very slick.
Yeah, I agree myself. Like I actually like the idea. Like I said, it would be cool for them to pull off 10, but I'm cool with 5, especially due to the fact if they came out and say, hey, the reason why we did 5 because we wanted to focus one in each class, that makes sense. Which, by the way, can you go through all 5 aliens and what class they are in again?
Yes, I can. So I'll start from the top. Mage range, you have Heat Blast. Heat Blast will be your zoner, basically. Will use his Fire Blast to keep opponents away from them. Maybe he could even build like a firewall that could possibly delete projectiles by burning them or incinerating them. Diamond Head would be your tank. He would be very heavy. He could literally use his crystals to fortify himself and also reflect projectiles because diamonds can reflect light, so I could see him possibly reflecting laser projectiles. He's also been shown to do this in the show. Forearms would be your bruiser. He would have multiple multi-hit attacks with his forearms, of course. Could probably even use grabs to displace enemies. Probably have a weak aerial presence as well. Probably strong ground game. A little bit harder to KO, but not as hard to KO as Diamond Head. Accelerate would be your assassin. The fastest assassin most likely in the game. Extremely fast because he literally has super speed. Would be have a really great ground game. So great ground game, but probably a little bit weaker in the air. I'm thinking my character design philosophy for that was more so that of like Sheik in Smash Ultimate. Very fast, deals not much damage to you, but has a really strong combo game. Gray Matter would be your support, could create gadgets, could create items that could be used for teammates, whether it be a healing field or some sort of gravity manipulator to make him and his allies heavier so they're harder to KO for a small period of time, or even a damage boost that could enrage enemies, similar to how Shaggy has his rage that he can get, or how there's an enrage status effect in MultiVersus. He could build an item that could be given to a teammate to enrage them, and that way their next attack will be enraged, dealing increased damage.
Dude, you could probably have Gray Matter attached to somebody's back like on Gizmo.
Yeah, that could also work as well because of Gray Matter's size.
Or you could
I have
put
a
them in
question.
your pocket. Yeah. Well, what's up, Nerdy?
Sorry.
So you said you already explained the twos play for like Gray Matter because he's like support, but like, do you have any like duo ideas for like any of the other like 4? What could they do to help their teammates out? What do they do for their teammates?
Oh wow, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a response to that. So Heat Blast would be your range character. So he's your zoner. He's the character who's primarily going to stay in the back line for the most part and will support teammates from a distance by dealing damage to enemies from a distance. Forearms would be your bruiser. He wants to get up close and personal. He's the person who's going to be trying to basically deal a ton of damage. Will have some KO power, but his main focus is just to be able to get his opponents to very high percentages. Diamond Head is your tank. He's the one who's going to be leading the charge. He's the one who's going to be creating your space. He's the one who's going to be allowing you to have strong stage control and strong stage presence, right? By using long sweeping attacks with his crystals, being able to use his crystal spikes on his back for possibly anti-airing opponents as they can extend. And also being able to reflect projectiles with his hands, as he's been able to do in the show, because diamonds can reflect light. So that's really cool. Accelerate will be your assassin, so he's going to be the quick character who's going to go in and get a KO and get right out of the fight. So think something kind of similar to Arya, how Arya has the playstyle of go in, get the KO, get out. That's going to be Accelerate's playstyle as an assassin, which is a lot of other assassin characters have in MultiVersus. Where Accelerate shines compared to other assassins is going to be that ground speed, is going to be the base speed that Accelerate has, being literally faster than every other assassin in the game. And then Gray Matter, of course, being the support that's going to be the one who's going to be creating the items and healing teammates and being able to provide that utility that other characters simply can't, or don't provide the amount of utility that Gray Matter can from his items that can be built over time.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. This is extremely well thought out. Like, we almost could make an entire episode about just you, but yeah, that you came prepared.
Like I said, I had this one in the vault. For a while. Let's just say I've had this in the vault for like 2 years. Ever since like 2022, I have this Ben 10 moveset in the vault. So I was like, you know what? It's time to pull it out.
He came in here with the Bugs Bunny suitcase.
Yep.
Yeah, he came in here with like 16 suitcases and pockets stuffed full of paper, like just flying out. And he had a whiteboard, he had a poster board, he had it all.
And don't forget, he also came in with the Omnitrix on, because you already know, people coming with the watches and everything too.
I was gonna give you toast when you mentioned every kid had the Omnitrix as a kid, because I definitely had that. I was an OG Ben 10 like fan, so I had the big ass like bulky one that like when you're an 8-year-old weighs your arm down. But I had that one, and yeah, I wore it all the time.
So yeah, that was my idea, man. As I was trying to say, man, there was a point in time where every kid had the Omnitrix, and there was an insane amount of hype around Ben 10. Let's bring that same hype back to MultiVersus.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I thank you for your pitch. Enjoy your toast. Look forward to seeing him in my little roster that I'm gonna put up. And yeah, thank you for being on Toast Tank. That was a really, really well done pitch.
And there's some butter on your way out too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, fellas. I appreciate you guys liking my pitch, and I hope the rest of the community enjoys my pitch as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of the rest of the community, those are the people we're going to get the next pitches from. It'd be a nightmare to get them all in here and pitch verbally, so I asked them to pitch on Twitter, and a lot of them accompanied images, which I will be throwing on screen. But you guys can think of this like the lightning round, where we're going to be going through all of, it'll be text, and I'll be reading it out to us, right? And we are going to start with someone that I think Nerdy Spaceman is going to be pretty excited about. From none other than his Dark Materia, Marcy MultiVersus on Twitter, Marceline from Adventure Time. All right, y'all ready? This character is a 1,000-year-old vampire chick who thinks there's nothing to sell per se. She's just waiting for a call from Player First Games so she can land a fun side gig in MultiVersus. You know, bat emoji, guitar emoji. And that's the pitch.
That's the pitch.
I'll let Nerdy Spaceman go first on that one.
So we get like no moveset, no nothing. I thought we would get a moveset since Niall came like with a moveset and everything.
Niall is gonna. These are gonna be a lot less. These are gonna be a lot less.
Made him go last. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I mean it's Marceline. That's like the vampire queen, highly requested character. Also, the roster could use some female characters. And,
I think
she's
out of all the
so.
post-launch ones, we didn't get a single female character. I think they were all dudes.
They were all guys. Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
So.
And just keep expectations in line for these. Some of them attached images and movesets, and some of them are really extravagant. But they were limited to Twitter text limit. They only had so many characters to work with.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, it's Marceline, and she's like probably my favorite character in Adventure Time. So
Is that worth a toast?
I think I'm gonna give my first toast to that.
2 toasts given away already. Crazy.
Yeah. So with Marceline, I guess I'll speak on it real quick. I'll be honest. Marceline is not one of my most wanted characters, but I'll put it to you like this. If it wasn't for MultiVersus, I would have never even thought about her as a possibility of a character, and just the hype and all around Marceline as a character, especially when Tony had did that poll talking about which one would y'all like to see as a default outfit, the red shirt or the gray shirt and all like that, and just seeing how excited people was about the whole entire thing. I'm like, you know what? Okay, yeah, I can see her being a character. I'll be cool with it. Now, would I give my toast for Marceline? Not really. She's not really up there for me, but she definitely a character I would like to see in the game, though.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same camp as Shader, where Nerdy Spaceman can give his toast. Feel free. I'm not really looking for another Adventure Time character right now. We've already got 2, and there are like 9 Cartoon Network shows I want to see before I want to see a third. But she's kind of the exception because of how many people have requested her. You know what I mean? It is like there was all that excitement when he asked about a shirt. I was like, okay, maybe she can get in. Like, okay, I won't be the angry old man because my cartoons didn't get in. You put her in. It's fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Nerdy, you're giving up a piece of toast for Marceline?
Yeah. Wait. I still have my other toast, right?
Yep, we each have 2. So me and you both have one left.
Toast to Marceline. Yep,
Hey,
definitely.
I'm about to say, Nerdy Spaceman, you owe me that toast, so I don't know if you have one left.
Yeah, all right.
Oh gosh, this next one is a photo, and there's a lot to it. It is JoJo's for MultiVersus. So let me go ahead and post this. This is a thick pitch. This is a thick pitch. So, it is called Why JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Should Come to MultiVersus. Number 1, character choices. Almost any character in JoJo has insane moveset potential and are extremely recognizable. Number 2, unique moveset potential. JoJo has a power system that is nothing like anything we have in MultiVersus currently. Stands offer a whole new way to play, with the attacks not being directly tied to the fighter. Stand users could work like a puppet character. Ties to Warner Bros. For those who don't know, the JoJo anime is actually produced by Warner Bros. Japan, which in fact allowed them to mention Warner-owned characters freely in the anime. Number 4, manga versus comics. Something I don't see people mention enough is how cool it would be to see Western comic book characters fight Eastern manga characters. Jotaro versus Superman. That has a nice ring to it. MultiVersus has the potential to make these dream matchups come true. 5. Memes. Yes, really. Look, there's no denying that MultiVersus loves memes. Shaggy's moveset is based around a meme after all. JoJo has no shortage at all, with multiple L's, of memes. JoJo has a lot of things that have creeped into mainstream culture and people don't even realize it. And finally, fan demand. There is no doubt that JoJo has a huge fan base. If you look at any fan-made poll, including the one that Player First Games references when adding new characters, a JoJo character is always high up on that list. Bonus is Tony saying that he would personally really like to see JoJo's in the game. Also bonus, the music is awesome. I'll post some of it in the replies. We're not going to play that. I'll get shot.
Right, yeah, man. Hey, I'll leave you hanging on that one too if you did. Yeah, I'm going grab my shades and I'm gone. Hey, I'm gonna just say this, right? I'm gonna give this an E for effort. Cause hey, this is some effort. It looks good too. I give a W for wow, like for real. But I'm not giving up my toast because I'm not really. I never even checked out the show before, so I don't have no ties to it. So I can tell that it has a big fan base, but nah, I give you an E. I give you a W. I know this ain't what Jeopardy. No wait, am I saying the right show? No, not Jeopardy.
That's not Jeopardy.
Hey, wait, help me out. I'm bad with these game shows. Shoot.
Oh God, I don't know what it's.
Fortune.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. So I give you an E. I give you a W, but I cannot give you my toast.
You know. Nerdy, what did you think of the pitch?
So I've actually watched some of JoJo.
Nice.
And I do think JoJo should come to the game, and it would be really cool. I only have one more left, and
that's where
I don't think I can give it to. Yeah, I can't give it as much as I like. I do like JoJo. I haven't even finished the show yet. Like I just started JoJo, so. I still need to see more of the show. I can't give a toast. This is a great pitch, by the way. This is a great pitch.
Really good pitch.
If I had like a lot more toast, you'd probably get it.
I would, but that's why we have, because I want multiple episodes of this. You know what I mean? And it's like we can't add 12 characters in the first ep. And my issue with this, and JoJo's for everything at JoJo for everything on Twitter. Thank you so much for the submission. It's incredibly well done. But my issue is I asked you to pitch a character and you pitched a franchise, and that is not the same thing. My issue is that you pitched to me all of JoJo's and I wanted one guy. Now, if this was Jotaro or Dio with all these arguments, I think I would have given up my last piece of toast this early for how much effort went into this. But it's kind of cheating because you're pitching all of the characters. If that's like if I was just to pitch like all of Star Wars. Just why not all of it? It'd be cool. I think you were so close to getting a toast, but next time I would focus a little bit more on just one character.
Hey, I'm gonna just say this: if you do pitch Star Wars, pitch the first 6 movies. Don't do the last 3. You ain't gonna get no toast.
All right, next one. We got any Mortal Kombat fans?
Oh yeah. Let me see what you got.
Bat Spidey MultiVersus hype at bat_Spidey on Twitter.
All right.
Mortal Kombat's it's a short and simple one, but I actually think it's a really good pitch for its length. Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero deserve spots in MultiVersus. They're fighting game legends. Warner Brothers owns Mortal Kombat, and there's already Mortal Kombat references in the game. Short and sweet, but I think it's a good point. A lot of that.
Before I say the next thing I'm going to say, how many more characters we have?
We're going to go until you guys are tired, or we're out of toast, or we're out of submissions, but there's a couple more. There is quite a few more.
Look, put it like this.
I'm
I'm actually a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I like Scorpion, I like Sub-Zero, and I really do think that one of those characters should get in the game. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to go ahead, take my bread, put it in the toaster, and hand it off.
Nice. Okay.
I'm going to give a toast for that.
Yeah. Okay. So Scorpion and Sub-Zero. We'll just do Scorpion. Just because it's a pitch for Mortal Kombat, but they did mention Scorpion first, so we'll do Scorpion. Scorpion gets toast, he gets in, and
hey, in the Mortal Kombat game, don't they say they have the thing where like toasting?
Yeah, toasty. So next up, we've got Dot for MultiVersus at Yakko is bored. So you got a game, MultiVersus, where the biggest Warner IPs and franchises battle it out. Sounds zany to me. Do you know what else is zany? The Animaniacs. They would make as fun ice climbers, like a trio ice climbers, who demolish opponents or drive them insane. Also, they're literally the Warners. And that's true. They are the Warners.
Yeah.
Is that the entire pitch?
That is the pitch. This one didn't have a moveset or anything attached to it. I'll get to a juicy one next.
I ain't gonna give no toast to this one just due to the fact I seen him on the banner and everything. So I guess I kind of already got him in a way, baby.
That's
I'm not,
true.
Look, I think they should be in literally because their last name is Warner. They're literally the Warner siblings, but like
basically
they're not anywhere on my top 10 list. Maybe even top 20. I'm not gonna lie, but I do think they should get it.
I don't know if they're in my top 50.
I can't give a toast,
to be honest. And it's not a dig at them. I think they should be in, and it's important. They should be in for the same reason that Mickey Mouse should be in a Disney one. Now, if it's not Kingdom Hearts Mickey Mouse, I'm not going to play as him. But he should be there. You know what I mean? Like, he just should. So
he's only playing King Mickey.
Only playing King Mickey. And, yeah, so I think I'm going to have to pass. It's a good pitch, and it makes a lot of sense. But, yeah, I don't know if I can go all the way for that one. Now, this one does have pictures attached, and I'm going to go ahead and drop those before I read it.
The anticipation is killing me.
Hey, add a drum roll in here.
All right, so y'all can look at this while I read the pitch. There's not much to say that hasn't already been said. Ice King is just that. A king of ice with shocky ice and snow powers, adorable penguins, and an amazing personality to put to the test. He'd bring a lot to the table as a new Adventure Time series mage. Some great alts too. And then they have this really well done season 2 snapshot where they show some character art. I believe Control Z, who now works at Player First Games, is the person that drew all of this. And this is Ice King from MultiVersus at Ice King MVS that pitched this. And yeah, it's Control Z art. Really incredible. Obviously, they're working on the game now. What do you guys think?
I already know my answer.
Nerdy, I'm gonna let you go first.
Alrighty.
You gonna let me go first?
I'll let you go first. Then
Okay. Literally, this sucks. I cannot lose both of my toasts to two Adventure Time characters. Like, it's just unfair to every other franchise. So I'm gonna have to not give my toast.
That'd be very funny if you
but
did.
Like, yeah, but like, no, I can't give. Like, Ice King is after Marceline. Ice King is probably, if we're considering like Adventure Time characters, probably next on my list of wanteds. But like,
right.
I can't lose them to two Adventure Time characters, so I can't give my toast. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, Shader, do you mind if I let you finish this one and be the little cherry on top to the Ice King argument?
Yeah, I got you. So what I'm gonna say about this? So I like Adventure Time. Adventure Time is cool. Ice King is a character I do not have nowhere near my top 10, and I'm not even sure if he's in my top 15. Now, I will say this. The concept is cool. Ice King, the character, I think is pretty cool as well. I ain't gonna give it no toes, but I give it a pair of sunshades.
Okay. Sunshades?
Yeah, sunshades, yeah.
Now, my thing is, I'm tempted to give this toast because it's so extremely well done. It's a really nice concept. But I do believe that, like, I don't know if these images convince me that he should be in the game. They kind of just show me what he'd be like if he was in the game. And like I already mentioned, I don't want 4 Adventure Time reps. And I'm pretty confident we're going to get Marceline. I'd rather have Marceline. And I don't think this post convinces me that I would rather have Ice King than Marceline. But it is really well done, and if you commission these, you own some really sick artwork now, and yeah, it's really well put together. But I don't know, I think we're all gonna have to pass on Ice King. We all only have one piece of toast left.
I'm gonna say this. Don't be surprised if Ice King and Marceline both get in the game. I could literally see Victor Time being like the emblem fire characters of MultiVersus.
I could see that too. I think there's a world where it's like 3 years down the road we get our 6th Adventure Time character, and people are like, oh my god, dude, it's Marth all over again. How many Marths do we need?
What time is it? It's Adventure Time.
Actually, I don't think Adventure Time will be like the Fire Emblem of the game. I think if anything, it'd probably be Steven Universe, because I know a lot of people don't like the show for whatever reason.
But the devs do.
I feel like a lot of fighters. Yeah, the devs do. So
I think you gotta let devs work on characters they like to keep them invested.
I agree.
So I'm fine with that.
RB Looney Tunes, should people talking about, oh, at this point, it look like you're gonna be DC versus Looney
There's
Tunes.
no way. Yeah, there's no way you can be mad at Looney Tunes and DC. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. All right. Next pitch. I'm gonna make it really hard on Nerdy Spaceman to keep his toast here.
Bro.
Lapis Lazuli for MultiVersus. From @Lapis for MVS. Lapis Lazuli is a gem, and she has water-based abilities that she either uses for force or assistance with an ally. I like that they're already gonna butt in here. I like that they're mentioning that she can help in the duos mode. Like, this is the first person to mention duos other than Niall. She's mainly chill, but don't mess with her or she'll use force. She can fly, summon loads of water, and even use water chains to hold her enemies down. Now, I'll start us off this time. I like that this is the first Twitter pitch where it's just text, where I get a sense of how she would work in the game. I'm like, okay, she can fly. She has some crowd control. She can stop enemies from moving, and she can help out her allies. Okay, but for me, I have one piece of toast left. I am going to be spending it soon because I don't want to like hold it forever. But I don't know if this is the one that gets my last piece of toast. I'm just also not a Steven Universe guy, but you know, we'll let Nerdy go last because he is the Steven Universe guy, right?
Nah, Nosey's trying to end this episode.
Hey, I put it to you like this. Like with Steve Universe, like, cause like recently, like in the last, like I think like last 4 months is when I actually finally watched Steve Universe, watched all the episodes, and I gotta say, pretty cool show. I like the storyline and the characters are very interesting, but I'll be honest, like outside of like Steven and Garnet, yeah, you know, you know, I'm not really looking for no other character. I guess the next character I would say that if I had to choose would probably be Pearl because of the like the capabilities that she could probably have. But Lapis, hey, I gotta say, cool account. I'm gonna give you some sunshades too, but I ain't really pulling for the character, I'll be honest.
No, yeah, that's fair.
I'll say Lapis, I love you so much. I think Lapis should come to the game. Unfortunately, you have one problem. I would prefer Amethyst got in before Lapis, so I'm not gonna give my toast.
Fair. So the argument didn't convince you Lapis gets in before Amethyst.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Wow. Okay, this next one's kind of an up and comer on the 4 MultiVersus community. Only 2 followers. I'll give them a follow back. I'll help them out. A Jon Snow for MultiVersus account. Description: I really like Jon Snow. They're at not Nosy Boy YT. Interesting. Wow. Okay. This is my chance. Jon Snow is the main character of the hit show Game of Thrones. He's the only character to be getting his own spin-off series. That's not true anymore, if you can tell how long ago I took these. And he's the most requested Game of Thrones rep for MultiVersus. And what's crazy is they actually included the graph that showed that it's actually not close. He's demolishing all of the other ones, frankly. It's embarrassing for the other ones. He also has great moveset potential with his sword and Ghost. Ghost is his giant dire wolf that's albino. So here's my pitch. Not my pitch. Not Nosy Boy YT. It didn't all fit in Twitter, but he sent me a DM. And Jon Snow could be like Marth if Marth had a giant ass wolf that he could sick on people. And that just sounds cool. But Jon Snow is also, look, this guy's just fired up a passion in me. What can I say? He's so right. I've never been more convinced by a pitch in my life. But Jon Snow is the true heir to the Iron Throne. He is both a Targaryen and the adopted son of the Starks. He is literally a song of ice and fire. And, you know, if you've read the books, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into all that. But yeah, at not Nosy Boy YT, I think you've done an incredible job. You have a bright future in this for MultiVersus community. I hope a lot of people follow you and you start up a campaign off of this. But what do you guys think? I mean, that graph is really convincing. You're looking at it, right? It's embarrassing, honestly.
Yo, I'll put it to you like this: if I had another toast, I would probably give it to Jon Snow. But so Jon Snow, he's a character I would like to see in the game. Obviously, he should be the next Game of Thrones character put in the game. But
oh yeah.
I gotta hold off. I got to, because then, like, I have to be honest. Like, he might be a top 15, 10 character, but yeah, I'm gonna have to hold on to my toes. If I had another toast, I would definitely give it to Jon Snow.
It's a good argument. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Look at those numbers. What do you think, Nerdy Spaceman?
My answer is kind of short. I'm not giving my toast this because I've never seen Game of Thrones. So.
Well, I have, and I love it. You know, forget the last season, and it's a pretty great show. Maybe my favorite. And you know what, Jon Snow for MultiVersus, I think you have a bright future, and I am going to give up my last piece of toast for this pitch, okay, bud? Keep it up, start the campaign, start pushing. He deserves it. And yeah, Nerdy Spaceman and Shader, I'm going to hit you with some of the hardest hitting ones that I've got in these replies.
I was trying to end it now.
You could hold them forever if you want. Like I said, when we end, you don't need to, you can keep the toast. You can be like the hard
you guys
judge.
Are busy.
I'm not holding this toast forever because I don't got enough to make a sandwich no more. So
all right,
I'm giving it up.
So this one is Darkseid for MultiVersus, and they just said, "Hope you like," and that's at Darkseid for MVS. And there's a lot of pictures here, and I am gonna be talking for a while, so I hope you guys like the sound of my voice. That's just one picture. That's the second picture. This is the third picture. You think we're done? There's the fourth picture.
Darkseid for MultiVersus is one of the most dedicated accounts.
He really is. He really is.
And like, honestly, I would love to give Darkseid for MultiVersus a toast just off of pure effort and dedication.
Do you want to hear his argument first? We'll skim through it because there's a lot of text here. But you know, he put a lot of effort into this, and so I think, like, yeah, I mean, this is insane. It's like, to be fair, JoJo's put in this much effort too, and truly, I maybe should have given them a toast, but I really would have over my bit of giving myself toast, but they just pitched more than one character. Anyways, number one, history/beef with all the DC cast members already in the game, making for good interactions. And then he lists a lot of examples. Like a lot of examples. And then, for number 2, has cool powers that could make an awesome moveset. The Omega Beams, the ability to alter his size. I didn't know he had that one. Summon parademons, make boom tubes with his mother box, steal powers from gods. Number 3, importance in history and iconic status. He's the original space dictator beating out Darth Vader by 7 years. That's crazy.
Dang.
I actually didn't know that either.
Dang.
Yeah. That's beating out Darth Vader that's impressive.
I know. You see, I'm more of like a comic head. Like I'm big with superheroes like Marvel and DC. So I kind of already knew that Darkseid was like the first and like original before like Thanos and all that of being like, like the big bad villain of that kind. But I didn't know. Dang, that's crazy. Like,
yeah. Then was number 6 on IGN's top 100 comic book villains of all time. Black Adam, who is in the game, was 16 for comparison. Thanos was inspired by him, and that's just like a little flex.
I'm not sure if y'all ever watch wrestling. There's a term called burying somebody, right?
Yeah.
He went out his way to bury Black Adam.
You know,
hey, matter of fact, just off of that alone, take my toes. Take it.
Yeah.
I gotta give you my toes. He like, I'm gonna bury somebody on your roster. I'm gonna grab the shovel and bury him to go ahead and give the kids. Hey, look, take my toes.
That number, saying Black Adam was number 16 was so unnecessary. That's kind of funny.
Black Adam was like, oh, what's she saying fuck me for?
Like,
why am I catching strays out here?
Of the episode so far. Like, what?
Hey, pure trash talk. That's the type of stuff I like. Hey, look, I'm talking trash about another character to get my character in. You see, I was holding my toast for Static Shock. I don't know if he's still coming up or not, but I got to give my toast for that one.
Static Shock isn't one of the characters pitched, so feel free to give up your toast.
You can go ahead and toast that with your Omega Beam.
But the final 2 points, Darkseid is no stranger to crossovers. And it's Darkseid in Mortal Kombat fighting, I think that's like a face hugger from the Alien movies, and of course in Injustice when he fights a Ninja Turtle. And Darkseid's been around for 50 years, so he has a bunch of skin potential. Also, he pulls, I think, the second best behind the Joker. Like, he pulls very well. He is very high up there. So, yeah, you won. Do you have anything to add to that, Nerdy Spaceman? But yeah, Darkseid from MultiVersus. You got Shader's last piece of toast.
Oh yeah, hey, just because he buried another character, like
yeah, that was unnecessary. I just like to say, the point of like, Darkseid is number 6 for like Black Adam's, and Black Adam's number 16. Black Adam did not get in because he was getting asked for. He got in because he had a movie coming out, and
and only because The Rock was attached to it, and they thought it would be huge.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. So far, out of everyone who has pitched a character, all the pitched characters, I think should all be in this game and deserve to be in the game. So if I don't give you toast, don't think, oh, he doesn't want that character to get. No, there's just characters I prefer.
No, that's fair. I'm gonna go over 2 more of like the tweets where it's just someone pitching through text, and then you can go back and like if there's someone you regret not giving toast to, I'll let you retroactively give out a toast so we can add them to the roster, because it is tricky to know what to and not to save your toast for initially because you don't know who's getting pitched.
That's why once again I'm saving my toast.
Can we pitch me? Shader for MultiVersus.
There we go. We should all be in MultiVersus and fight.
So, okay, no joke. Hold on, let me read you one of these. The North Dakota account, @DavidDavid127. I think it'd be pretty cool if I was in the game, because then I would be in the game.
Yeah, no, grass is green.
That's funny.
I'm dead.
All right. And then this is another dedicated member of our community, Audrey II for MultiVersus. Audrey II is from the film Little Shop of Horrors. The plant feeds on human blood and deceives whoever crosses paths with it to get what it wants. For how he could work, think piranha plant, but of a more monstrous stature. As it attacks, it grows larger and harder to wring out. And that's at Audrey II for MVS. Now, what I like about this idea is we have colossal characters, right?
Yep.
But Audrey II has always been pitching a character that starts out kind of normal sized, but as the match goes on, becomes colossal size. And I just think that's a neat idea.
Yeah, pretty cool.
What do you
Okay.
What are you
So
thinking,
I'm
Nerdy?
pretty sure Audrey has asked me before if I would be down for this character to be in the game, and I'm gonna say exactly what I've said already about Audrey. I'm not against it, but like maybe after we get some more like popular picks. I've never seen Little Shop before, so that's another thing hurting
That's
it.
fair, yeah.
But yeah, so no toast for me. But really cool obscure character though, I will say.
I like them. I think like once we get some popular picks, like you said, because a game like this needs like lesser known character. Like we need our Rob and Mr. Game and Watch.
Yep.
And our Kid Icarus, right? And I know his name's Pit, but the franchise was not super popular before Smash. But regardless, like I think Audrey is a really good pick for the game. And I think in like a year, I would be hype. But I want our next colossal-ish character to be, well, I can't give them toast, but I'm going to read the pitch for them. How do you guys feel about Godzilla?
Yes. Yes.
Well, if you really like dinos / giant monsters that can breathe fire and be an absolute badass, I suggest adding Godzilla to the game, as he's one of the most iconic monsters of all time and isn't afraid to throw down. He is the king of the monsters after all, and that's hashtag Godzilla for MultiVersus at JDog4789. But I'm not done with the Godzilla pitches, because Godzilla was actually the most pitched character.
Wow.
Hey,
Um,
I put it like this. I don't have a toast, but you know, I have I have a croissant.
Yep, you can have a croissant from Shader for sure. And Goji for MultiVersus, who's inactive right now, but still at Godzilla for MultiVersus with an underscore. Godzilla is one of the most iconic fictional characters. He's had cultural impact for almost 70 years now, from showing the horrors of nuclear weapons in 1954 to saving movie theaters in 2021. He's long overdue for getting put alongside other iconic characters like Bugs. Sorry, it would be a complete waste to create an entire giant class and not put the most iconic monster in the game. It'll be fun to eventually create kaiju battles in matches. Also, we'd finally get Godzilla vs. Batman, which was planned to happen back in the 1960s. Side note, I don't know how Batman wins that one. I think that's just kind of Godzilla steps on him, maybe.
Man, forget that boy. Batman
give him
all
prep
day.
time.
Batman man. I shield for Batman any day. He got that.
And then finally, Roxtrixity, at Roxtrixity 2003. Godzilla is one of the most iconic movie monsters that would be an interesting addition with attacks like his atomic breath, and having him alongside the Iron Giant would go hard.
Okay. Is this the last pitch?
Those three together are the last pitch. Godzilla. Do you think those three tweets, like those three sets of tweets,
Okay.
do you think Godzilla's worth a toast?
So since you said I could go back, I'm debating right now between Godzilla and Ice King. I ain't gonna lie though, Godzilla is cheating. He got 3 people to jump 1 person.
Godzilla.
That's true. That's true.
Because my thing is, I think Godzilla would be a much bigger moment than Ice King, to be honest. But I know me personally, I would get more hype for Ice King because I really like cartoons.
So you're gonna go back and give your final piece of toast?
I'm thinking. I'm like,
oh man,
that piece of toast is so cold right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I would, yeah.
It's
I gotta
basically bread
reheat it
again.
up
We're
again.
gonna have to retoast it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wish we had moveset. I wish they both pitched movesets, and then I could just be like, okay.
Those do take a lot of
Um,
effort and take a lot of
yeah, they
time
do.
to get
No,
through.
I know.
One of them did. There was another moveset one, but I'm gonna save some of these for the next, and we're also gonna get some new pitches in the next one. We just couldn't get to everybody because there were still a couple more, and we've been here for an hour, like not just an hour. Yeah, hour
Okay,
and 10
you know what?
minutes.
I've decided. I'm gonna give my toast to Godzilla, and it's just because of the
Wow.
fact you had 3 people that pitched this character.
Yeah.
3 people.
Like,
So
I didn't know the reason why I included all 3 of them is I didn't want to just like, oh, this person's pitch is worse than this one and not include them all. I also think it's neat that, like, because I'm not big at that time, I did not have a lot of followers on Twitter, and I think I got like 20 to 30 replies, and the fact that like more than 10% of those are just one character kind of says a lot as well. So to recap, we started out with Ben 10 from Nile Styles, and you can find him on Nile Styles on YouTube, Nile Styles on Twitter, Nile Styles on Twitch. He's there on everything, and he even has a Metafy if you ever need coaching once MultiVersus comes back. And then after Nile pitched Ben 10 and we selected him, I ended up going for Jon Snow. And then Shader, who did you end up giving your toast to?
Man, I gave toast to my boy Scorpion. And then I also gave toast to Darkseid. And that literally because that man came with a whole shovel.
He really did. He came with a shovel and a movie, a PowerPoint presentation. And then Nerdy, who did you ended up picking again?
I chose Marceline because I just love that character so much, and I think she'd be a great addition to the game. And then I chose Godzilla because of the cultural importance of that character.
Nice. Well, guys, this has been the first episode of Toast Tank. If you guys would like to be featured, please follow me on Twitter. I know with YouTube you could use more words to pitch, but I like the lightning round pitches, and it allows people to be creative with images that they then attach, and they make their own PowerPoints, and I love that. So we're going to keep using Twitter because you can't attach images on YouTube. So follow me on Twitter if you would like to be involved in this. You know who else you should follow and support? My guests, who I am very grateful for coming in and hanging out. Shader Gamer, where can people find you? What are your socials?
Hey, look, y'all can go ahead and find me on YouTube, The Shader Gamer, if you want the latest news from MultiVersus, the quickest news from MultiVersus when it drops. Go to my channel YouTube, The Shader Gamer, and you can also follow me on Twitter at The Shader Gamer as well. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. And Nerdy Spaceman, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Nerdy Spaceman, and they can follow me on Twitter at Nerdy Spaceman _.
Nice. And with all of that said, we'll smell you guys later.